Good morning, Flosstube. It's Helen D. Today is Wednesday. I don't usually film on a Wednesday. It's Wednesday, June 22nd. That doesn't seem right. It is June 22nd, the month of June, almost gone. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you for spending some time with me today. We've had a busy couple of weeks, but summer vacation is now in full swing. So my son got done last Wednesday. They had a carnival. It was supposed to be Monday, but it rained, so it was Tuesday, so I helped out with that. And then last day, Wednesday, and then we took a couple of very lazy days, and now all the stuff has started. The last 2 days were like straight out. Not even with him, with my stuff. My parents came down Monday, and they're helping me replace the door on the pantry. Never have I given my pantry as much thought as I have in the last month and a half. When the door fell off. Our doors never were the right size. They were terrible. I've hated them since we moved in, which was 11 years ago. Hadn't fixed them until it fell off. So we're replacing the door. My dad needed to do some work on like the baseboards to get those out, which ended up being a process. And my mom and I are painting the door. It's process, house stuff. It's probably why we put it off for 11 years. So I need to do the final coat of paint on that today, and then they'll come back down, and hopefully we just need to hang it and be good to go. And then yesterday I was going to film, and then I had a friend, and I posted this on Instagram. I had not planned on making jam this year. We still have a ton left in the basement to use up this next year, and then we'll make a big batch next year. And my friend said, I'd love to make jam. Will you help me? So we made 35 half pints of jam. And we made them here because she has a glass stovetop, and you're not really supposed to count on those because it can damage them. So I can't even find the counter. I'll find it one of these days. Between that and the pantry, I can't find anything out there. So there we are. Everyone is home because it's summer. I just yelled up before I started and said final call for snacks. So my son came down and got some snacks. My husband's upstairs. Emmy's got the zoomies. You never know what you're gonna get. What else have we been doing? I have been busy trying to fully finish some things. Before school ended, I took a day and I just went through and got like the sewing part done so that then I could go in and do the rest of the fully finishing kind of a little at a time. And it just so happens, and I didn't plan this, I fully finished my two oldest projects. So I have those to show you today. So we will start out with FFOs, and there's a lot. I have a lot of FFOs. 3 of them, if you watched my summer berry topper tutorial, you've already seen. I got stuff everywhere. So I finished putting together the summer berries from Erica Michaels that we're stitching as part of the hashtag berry season sale. I'll hold these up. You can't see them through my big hands. We'll do them one at a time. So I finished putting these. I had them, I think I showed them last video kind of sewn but without the toppers. So I went through and I put all my toppers on. And they're all a little different. This one's a little simple. And then this one was, I think this one's my favorite. It's funny because it's not my favorite berry, but it's my favorite topper. So this one took a long time to stitch because it's more solid. And then I made little s'mores. So one of my friends, my friend Kat, we were having one of our stitch Zooms, and she said, you know, because like I said in my video, in the middle of the night, like 1 a.m., couldn't sleep. And I thought, I'm gonna make some little s'mores. And she said, did you come up with that idea all on your own? I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Someone else might have mentioned it and I'd forgotten it, and then my brain thought of it at 1 in the morning. So I don't know, but they're adorable. I didn't charge this camera, so I'm gonna have to keep an eye on the battery. So then that tutorial is up. So then I had 2 more berries partially sewn. So I finished stitch all the things. And then this one I used, Margie had sent me a tatted button. So it's tatting over a button. And she had put it together as a needle minder. And I told her right when I got it, I'm like, I kind of want to put that on a berry. So I picked the magnet off, and luckily she had used, if she had used E6000, I wouldn't have even tried, but she'd used hot glue. So I thought, you know what? I bet I can without damaging these fine, fine, fine threads. So I got the magnet off, and then I tacked it down like on these little sections and in here all the way around. So that, I love it. It's perfect on this little berry. And I told her I used it on this one because it's not a seasonal berry, so it will be out with my sewing stuff all year. So then that got me thinking, I had stitched this berry ages ago, the Silent Night berry, and I cut the red cap, and I thought, hey Mom, do you still have any of that doily thread, like the thin thread? Can you make me a tiny doily? So she did. So she stitched me up this little tiny doily, and again, I just tacked it down as a berry cap. Then she made me all these doilies. So I have some doilies. One of them's got fuzz. Oh no, she marked the back. I'm like, one of them's got something on it. She made me spider webs. And then just some other varying doilies that I'm gonna use for toppers. So if you crochet or knit, you might want to make yourself some tiny berry toppers, tiny doilies. Okay, keep going. This one is a gift, so it is not staying in my house, but I did fully finish. This is Leggy Swimmer by Heart and Hand, but I made her not quite as leggy, and then there's like something in the bottom that says fun or swim. I'm gonna restitch her for myself, and I think I'm gonna make her a stand-up, so I want the full thing. So I put her together as a pillow, and I use these fun buttons that are like polka dot and plaid, and they match. I had the buttons before I picked her colors, so I kind of knew going in that that's what I wanted to do, and it's just flat on the back, but plain on the back, and I used a white lady dot trim. So she is done. Checking them off, checking them off. And then my last one is my oldest, it was my oldest finish, kicking around, waiting to be FFO'd. And it was Happy Christmas. And I looked back, it's not quite straight, I tried 3 times. It's good enough. I finished this, I stitched this with Misty Purcell. This was the first piece we did together as a stitch along in 2018. I finished this on January 1st, 2019. So it sat in my drawer for 3.5 years. Finally done. It's a finally fully finished. I had to order a frame because it was just not quite the right size. So I finally got that one. Finally fully finished. So that is all my fully finishes. I don't, like the berries and stuff I had kind of part way ready to go. I've run out of, I have 2 more. I have 2 more that are part way, and then I've run out. So then the FFOs will kind of go down for the rest of the summer. Fully finished, finished items, FOs. I forgot to grab the book for this. I fully finished my oldest whip, which was also from 2019. And this was In Our Lasting Friendship. It's by Blackbird Designs. And we stitched this, a group of my main stitchy friends, there's all our initials, as a round robin. I chose my own fabric and my own colors, a lot of us did. Mine is on 18 count dapple. It's like a greeny gray. And then my flosses are Victorian Motto, except I know this blue is Lagoon, which I think is a Gentle Art. And that is Mulberry. I think it's a Classic Color Works, this pinky color. So I did, when I passed it around, we all did this border and the words, which I messed up right from the beginning, so I had to put some fill in. I took the Lagoon out of my bag and I put all the other colors in so that when people stitched it, I had mine, they just picked the colors, so they could put the colors wherever they want. But they wouldn't put that Lagoon in, and that way I knew I was going to use it for the outer border so that it would then stand out. And then I did my initials also. So this one is done. And then I told, we had a Zoom this week, And I said, I ended up stitching 2022 for my year. And it's actually spaced properly because there's one stitch between each, but it's one stitch up here and there's like all kinds down here. I said I should have shimmied these over. I said, or I could just put a little dash, because in reality, it took me from 20 to 2022 to finish that. So that one is done. And then I had another bonus FO this morning because I filmed late. This is a new start. I'm working on these Let's Talk is kind of the series from Hands On Design, and I'm doing the little ones. I don't know if you can see it. Spring is in this, and I want to do all of them for that. And I just finished summer. So there's summer. This is on an 18 count black, which was not fun to stitch on at all, but I need it this size to fit in that stand. On my last one, I used regular DMC 2 strands, and it was thick. So on this one, I used Sulky. And I thought the coverage is great on an 18, and it's a little smoother to stitch with on the 18. So Kathy had given a Sulky conversion on a couple of the website groups, on the Facebook groups. So I used that. I can list it below if anyone's interested. So that one needs to go in there because it's summer. Whips. I feel like I've touched a lot of things. I decided to call it a season on my car stitch. I've been working on All American by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I knew there was no way it was going to get done by the 4th of July, which is fine. When I'm working on a seasonal piece, if I get too close and I'm not done, I just put it up for the next year. So this is where I got. You guys haven't seen it open. That's where I got. I would have liked to have gotten, there's some fireworks here and there's a heart here, so that then I just have the bottom. But I didn't, so it will wait. This is on a color and cotton. It was a leftover from one of her clubs, so it's a kind of a one-off. Fieldstone, 14 count Ada. So that one's getting put away. Then I needed a new, now we're on to whips. Yeah, I think I said that. Now I needed a new car piece. So I decided to start, and it's more tennis at this point. I am borrowing this from a friend. This is an out-of-print Blackbird called Peacock Pin Keep. And I love this little guy, the needle book. But I know myself and I'm never going to use that because I wouldn't want to ruin it. So I am stitching this guy. I have a very pitiful start. It was better, and then we were yapping at tennis and I had to rip it out. That's it. I can barely tell which way's up. This is a mystery color and cotton from a grab bag. I think it's a 16 count Ada. And I'm using it's only 2 flosses, and I pulled color and cotton Red Rock and color and cotton Frosted Spruce. So that will be my colorway. So that will be my tennis/car, whatever, take someplace stitch. I worked on Under the Sea from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, but it's still upstairs, so you'll see that next time. I did get caught up through Clue 3. It was a treasure chest. I think I was pretty close to being done last time. When I finished the Friendship Sal, I was looking at my whip list, because I went right in there to cross that bad boy off. And I'm like, well, what's my next oldest whip? Maybe I should work on that. My next 2 pieces are actually my oldest whips. They're both from 2020. I pulled back out, and I don't know if I have a full picture of this. If you want to see the top of this, Laura from Stitching by the Shore has been working on hers, which has made me want to work on mine. This is, it's called On the Beach, and it's by Stitchrovia. And it's a big old beach scene. You can't really, this is all solid water, and then there's all the umbrellas. Mine is from a magazine, but it's now on her Etsy. So mine was from a Cross Stitcher magazine. I don't know what, oh, this is not the color. I'm glad I pulled this out. I thought it was on a different color fabric. It's on 16 count Mellow Ada from Picture This Plus. Mine is from the magazine, although I then went on when she released it as a PDF. After I started using Pattern Keeper, I'm like, you know what, for this piece, I'm gonna buy the PDF so I can put it in Pattern Keeper and it will be much easier. It doesn't work like super great. It doesn't recognize any of the back stitch, which is fine. I still have my chart, but at least for this stuff. So I pulled it out to work on and realized I had done, last time I worked on it, this whole section up here by his head is supposed to be the lighter orange stripes, and I'd done them in a darker. I had to rip it out. So I took more out than I put in. But I have all the water done. I am actually 52% finished on this because I marked off all the others. So I just need to do all my bathing beauties up here. So it's blocks of color. I'm gonna try and work on this throughout the summer. I don't know if you can see this on my next bag, which is what made me laugh. Can you see the cat hair on this bag? It's been on, I have a little bookshelf by my stitching chair, and this has been on the top, and Emmy's been all over it. It's her current sleeping bag of choice. And it's Cardinal Points. I pulled Cardinal Points out at the beginning of June, and my plan was to stitch on it, just squashed everything down in there, Mondays and Tuesdays, to make it my Monday, Tuesday stitch. Hasn't happened this week. Happened the last 2 weeks? I don't know. Didn't happen this week. Too much going on. But there is progress. So Cardinal Points from Long Dog Samplers. Technically, it is Julia line of Long Dog, and it was put out by the Gentle Art because it uses all Gentle Art threads. So technically, I don't think it's a Long Dog. It's gorgeous. It's not done. So I've been working on, I think last time I had done the Dragonfly and a couple of these. Last week I got these leaves done, and I started working up on this. That looks weird. It's not. Doesn't that look weird right there? Well, it looks fine. Oh, I forgot to tell you a funny story. So I'm working on this. This is kind of right in the center of the chart, and the chart has a lot of grayed out spaces, and they're grayed out on both sides, right? Like, you know how some charts have, it's clear on this sheet and then it's grayed on this sheet, so you know you already stitched it. These are gray on both, which makes it very hard to see. So I'm in one of those sections, so it's a little tedious and slow going, but I'm getting there. Now I gotta put this back in here so that if she sleeps on it again, she won't squish it. All right, where'd that one go? So this friendship piece, I don't want it in all the hair. My border didn't match up on this side. Border didn't match up. I looked, I counted, I looked, I counted, I looked. I couldn't find it. It's the last thing I had to do. Like, matches now. So this little piece right here, I ended up I had to fudge it, and it matches. And from far away, you're never gonna tell. So then I had it out and I was showing it to my son, and I'm like, yeah, and there's a mistake in the border. And he's like, looking at it. I said, oh, you're not gonna find it. He said, oh, right here? He found the original mistake immediately. So all of these, like, they point in, except this one points out. So then that messed up everything else. I left it right in. So I was like, oh, I should have asked you first, Eagle Eyes. Whatever, it's done. That's what I've been working on, which feels like a lot. I've touched a lot of things. We have some giveaways to talk about. First, I have to show you an amazing gift that I got. So my friend Tifa did videos, but she hasn't done them in a long time. You know, life happens. Express Life Tifa, and I'll link her older videos below, but it's been a couple years. She sent me, I sent you a package. It should be there like last Friday. So, okay. She sent me the most amazing bag. I had made her a project bag with a Halloween gift in it, like, you know, 4 years ago. She's like, I still love that bag, and I just really want to make one for you. Her bag is way better than my bag. It's a tote bag. It's huge. Ugh. Okay. Everything about this gets better and better. Cat fabric. All of like the machine things, machine embroidery, they're all different. Like every last one. Am I showing you? Okay. These are cats. Little cats. So it's got all the cat fabric, and then this top fabric is like stitching fabric. Right? So I'm oohing and ahhing. And then I flip it over. On the stitching fabric, it's just the little details, right? She embroidered the word embroidery. So it's so fun. And then she got like, the handles have like really super thick, and it's got a fun cat print on the inside, and I filled it with all of the projects I hope to get to this summer. So you might see what's in this bag throughout the summer. You might not. We'll see if I get to it. So thank you, Tifa. I love it. And it's soft. I think it was a quilt as you go, she said, because it's like the squishy batting on the inside. I love it. Emmy will love it too, and it will be covered in cat hair. All right, let me pull these giveaways over. We have 2 last calls. So last calls for these, and if I don't hear, I will draw new winners, and I'll use the comments on the original video. So Sonia Dewey had won Berries in Bloom, and Lynette Peters had won Weeping Tree. So last call on those. So we had 3 giveaways from the last video. The first one was donated by Deanna at Hill Stitchery, and it's one of her printed charts, Bumble Honey. I haven't gotten to finishing this one yet, fully finishing. And she kitted it. So it has the DMC and a piece of Belfast linen. This is going to Georgianne Ziegler. And in all honesty, I commented on people's comments last night. I think all 4 of them have already gotten back to me, but I haven't been on there to, like, I've seen stuff come through, and I'm going to check it after this. So, Georgianne. The next 2 were from Carla at Cobweb Corner. Gone Fishing will go to Joyce Andrews. And Corgi Caboodle to DG Galing. And then my Corgi Caboodle, because I'm done with it, is Patty Kolak. So we have 2 Corgi Caboodles, Gone Fishing, and I want to say Humble Honey, but that is not it. Bumble Honey. Okay, so there is those. So then this video, we have 2 giveaways from Carla at Cobweb Corner, who's always so generous. Carla has some vacations coming up this summer, but she always marks on her website if there will be shipping delays. So you'll always see those. They're not hidden. Like, you'll know if she's going to be out of town because they're doing some camping. So giveaway rules, you need to be 18 so you can legally give me your mailing address. Please be a subscriber. You can go check out Carla's channel. She actually is having one of her auctions this weekend, Friday. I'll list her auction Facebook page down below too. She does them through Facebook. They're like the time varies. Sometimes they're 24 hours, sometimes they're longer. So we're running out of battery. We're gonna wrap this up. Number 1, just put the number 1 in your comment, is Round Red Sampler from Heart and Hand. Oh, and please don't use the word giveaway or win. And number 2 is Quilting Bee from the Blue Flower. So 1, 2, and those are from Carla. And then real quick for haul, when Carla sends you guys charts, she also sends for me, and I also picked a red round sampler, which I'll probably do in blue. And then, final thing, I ordered a piece of fabric from 123 Stitch, and it's Fiber on a Whim, which I'd never tried. Made by Michelle McGraw, has been using it, and she loves Picture This Plus. I love Picture This Plus, and she said, if you love Picture This Plus for the softness, try this. So I listened, and I'm trying this, and she's right. It's really super soft. So this is cornflower, and I got a 14 count Aida, and the color is gorgeous. The softness is gorgeous. For a winter piece, whites are going to show up great on this, so I won't need to worry about that. And 123 is now carrying them, and I know a lot of other local smaller shops are also carrying them. So if you're a Picture This Plus fan and want to try some different colors, give them a go. That is all. My battery's dying. Oh, I also bought 2 charts from Deanna at Cherry Hill Stitchery, 2 of her PDF charts. She had one that was brand new. I bought those bees that I told you, it's called Itty Bees, that I want to make one into a berry. So cute. Itty Bees. There it is. So it's Itty Bees, and it's a set of 3. And then the other one I got was a brand new release she just put out called Sweet Summer, and it's really cute. This one's kitted up in my bag. So this one is on her Etsy, which I'll link, and it's called Sweet Summer. It uses 2 fancy flosses, and then the rest are just DMC. So that one's in my bag. And I think that's it. All right, you guys may see me next week for a quick, it'll be a quick because I won't have that much, a quick update, because then I think every 2-week timeline wise, it will put me right in schedule for the rest of my summer. So don't be surprised if I pop up then. Until then, I hope everyone else's summer is off to a good start. And oh, the other thing, and I don't know if I mentioned it or not, I'm out of it today. The Cardinal Points, a lot of other people have pulled theirs out to work on. So I've been using the hashtag Cardinal Points Sal, which was already ongoing. So I've just kind of jumped in on there. So feel free to use that too. I'd love to see where everyone else is, and we can encourage each other to get it done. Just pull your cats off it so that you can work on it. All right, you guys, have a good couple weeks. Bye.